In the depths of the forest, the princess, weakened by the snakebite, wandered aimlessly until she could go no furthest. As her strength faded, she collapsed, teetering on the brink of death. Suddenly, a mysterious figure emerged from the shadows, rushing to her aid, turning out to be Prince. With swift, skilled movements, he applied a healing ointment to her wound. Then he lifted her gently and carried through the forest, heading toward his village. Meanwhile, 3 days into the search, word had reached the board of kings and kingmakers that the princess was missing. If they do not find the princess within the remaining 7 days, they must appoint a new king to avoid the wrath of the river goddess. The threat of the river goddess's wrath loomed over them, pressing the urgency of their situation. In a far-off kingdom, the princess awoke in a princely bed, her wound miraculously healed. She discovered it was the prince, who would be her groom. Enters the room. He is a handsome young man with kind eyes, dressed in princely attire. He smiles warmly at the princess, mistaking her for a lost maid. Back at the palace, the king summoned the maid's brother and grandmother to explain what had happened. The maid's brother explained that the princess was in the forest looking for the witch, seeking answers to her plight. Determined to find his daughter, the king made a bold decision to go to the witch's house myself and bring back the princess. On the way to the witch's house, the king led a procession, carrying offerings to appease the witches. They bore gifts of porridge, fine dresses, jewelry, and plentiful food, hoping to win the witch's favor. With determination and hope, the king pressed on, intent on finding his daughter and restoring order to his kingdom. On their way to the witch's place, the king's procession encountered an eagle, its screeches piercing the air as it circled above them. The eagle's persistent cries and swoops agitated the horses and the men. The king, looking annoyed, raises his hand and orders his servants to shoot the eagle. The servants draw their bows and aim at the bird. An arrow flies through the air, hitting the eagle. 2 servants pick up the dead eagle carefully, wrapping it in cloth to carry as a souvenir for the witch. Further along the path, they encountered the same snake that had bitten the princess. A servant draws his sword and swiftly decapitates the snake. Another servant carefully picks up the snake's body and places it in a sack. They reached the portal of spirits, its ethereal light casting an otherworldly glow. You may not pass with your servants and gifts. This journey is for you alone, king. The king, looking conflicted, dismounts from his horse. He nods to his servants, who reluctantly stay behind with the offerings. The spirits part, allowing the king to pass through the portal alone. The king arrived at the witch's house, a place of ancient magic and mystery. The witch, a stern and mysterious figure, stands at the door. She beckons the king inside with a knowing look. Inside the witch's house, a wooden table is set with simple yet inviting food and drink. The witch motions for the king to sit. He does so, looking curious and wary. She hands him a small vial of potion. He hesitates, then drinks it, and watches as the king drinks the potion. His eyes widen as memories flood back, transporting him to a time before he became king.